Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment down below. Let me know where y'all from and who you a fan of. Let's get this thing started, man. So look, Sauce Walka is not playing no games with J. Prince Jr. and them. He said they not gonna do him like they did to the Migos. And y'all gotta understand, man, in Houston, like they been knowing each other for a long time. And that's why they wasn't rocking with each other at all. Like you gotta understand that TSF is a whole different thing than J. Prince and them, mob ties and all that. It's three different cliques technically because of Rap a Lot. And one thing about it is that everybody in town knows in Houston because it's a big city, word get around to everybody. Like when they doing loops on the highway, you got to understand that they out there making sure that people is checking in still, because we just seen more rappers still checking in with J. Prince Jr. and all that. And that's why Sauce Walka is going off, because he's not doing that no more. He said they already tried him in LA with that whole situation with whoever that was over there. And he had to come out on live and say everything that he said. But you got to understand now this time he took it personal, because he realizes that with everything that he gone through, the fact that they already tried to get a whole RICO on TSF, the fact that they already looking at basically people in Houston and everybody is like, oh, these rappers over here, they running around with these cliques, with these groups and everything. He already got a lot of heat from Charleston White and them. Y'all got to understand that Sauce Walka ain't going back and forth and is not playing no games and is just done with this whole entire beef thing with whoever it is that's coming, whether it's Charleston White, J. Prince Jr., or his dad, or his brother, or whoever, right? And so one thing about it is that when Sosa Man got put up and he had to basically go down for this whole entire RICO for the TSF, and they've been trying to get him out. And basically, that's why Sauce Walka is like, look, he's trying to do business and take care of his partners and everything like that. And he's like tired of all this bicker-backering, right? And it's not his fault. He said that it all started from J. Prince Jr. and them in these dice games and all these certain situations that they even came out and spoke about at their own mouth, and all the alleged things that people been talking about, because you already know that the streets been talking and they know exactly what's going on in Houston. And not only that, but they know what was going on in Atlanta with the whole Migos situation and the fact that the agreement that Quavo already had with J. Prince Jr. and them, all that through Drake. And now they told Drake that if he goes to the whole case for the Tentacion X Triple X situation, that he basically can't say nothing. He has to plead the fifth, because they're going to ask him back then, like, oh, okay, who was you rocking with? And he was all out hanging out with J. Prince Jr. and them at that time. And what you got to realize is that everybody's all interconnected. So this whole thing is just one big revolving door situation where Sauce Walka is like, he's not trying to step in on this and join in with them. He wants to be left alone from the whole thing, because he already got things to do and places to pop out to. He's trying to get back on the shows and get back on the road and all that. And so basically what is happening is that they trying to stop him from coming back and had to check in from Houston and whatnot, or they still like going on the shows and all that, and they asking him questions about Sauce Walka, and they just keep amping everything up. And it's like, look, in Houston, everybody was trying to be the top dog and all this and all that. And so that's why they didn't want to mix crowds too much. And when they mixed the crowds, that's what got Sauce Walka like going crazy, and it got him hot because of the whole situation of going back and forth and replying with J. Prince Jr. and all of them, because everybody's always got something to say. And so basically with that whole situation, he wasn't agreeing with it. So everybody was all disagreeing. And basically that's what caused them all to go online and just start going. So the first thing that they do is go right to the IG and go boom, 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 talk. They give their side of the story, or if something comes up, they got to go pull up somewhere, and they go on Gilly the Kid, and they go on all these other places, and then they be getting asked the questions exactly what's going on, and they basically dry snitched on Boosie for the whole situation with the dice games, and saying that was his old. He got Duke the Jeweler went and he got hit up at Boosie concert. Not ours. We just played a dice game with him, but that ain't connected or nothing like that. And so they saying the same exact thing with the whole situation with the Migos and with Takeoff was there that night. And so basically that's why Sauce Walka was like, Sauce Walka actually knows exactly what happened, because part of his people, they mixed the crowds at that whole entire situation at that party, and they seen what happened. And so they went back and told Sauce Walka everything that happened. And that's why he is the way he is, and he feels the way he felt about that whole crew and everything like that. And so basically that's when he decided and made the decision for himself that he was not going to be rocking with them or trying to vouch for them into any of those situations, because you know, they was trying to get people to you know, vouch for them and say that they was good and say that there was that in case the RICO came down on them, because that's the same thing YSL was trying to do. They try to get the 16-year-old, whoever, right? They try to get the people on the stage and on the stand and tell them that, oh, he was good, he helped pay the bills and did this and did that. And so that's why you got to look at it as they trying to get people to cover their back. And Sauce Walka says he wants to have no part in that situation. He's not covering nobody's back. He says, stop calling my phone. He don't want to talk to J. Prince Jr. or none of them or his dad or whatever, right? And so basically what that did is it left a bad taste in their mouth, and now they got pent up frustration against each other. Now they don't want to mess with each other, and they calling each other this and that. And so that's what they're going. And that's why it got all of Houston talking about the situation, and they picking sides and doing this. And it's already too much things from, you know, them paying attention to what happened with Zero and Trade of Truth is splitting a lot of things up in Houston and is making Houston look bad. And that situation is like sporadically changing what happened in Atlanta with the whole Migos situation, and Quavo still going back and forth with Houston to try to deal things out, because he in the actual, like, he's actually the one that he's seen the whole thing play out. And so he a big witness, and that's why they've been flying him out to talk to the private lawyers and the private attorneys and everything to try to figure out the whole Takeoff situation, because they still trying to get justice for Takeoff. And so, because a lot of people care about him, whether they was in Atlanta, whether the people was from Houston, because Takeoff got fans from everywhere. And y'all got to comment down below if you a Takeoff fan, basically. And what that means is that this whole situation has got Quavo still going back and forth, and every time he still has to go and check back in with J. Prince Jr. And he feel uncomfortable doing that now, because everybody's just quiet when they riding in the car, dropping Quavo off and picking him back up. And so they know exactly where he is, and they told him, you better not say nothing about us. And so that's what got them in like an awkward situation where they can't really be communicating like that no more, where they just get rides from each other and they got to get dropped off, and Quavo got to get picked back up, because that's still the security and everything. It's the same crew that he has to go back and check into that took out or whatnot, or had the argument in front of the dice game allegedly, and everything that people was talking about already, right? And so with that being said, with the whole thing, like I told y'all, you could go and binge watch all the videos in the past. You can go and see and get caught up to the situation, but it's not no coincidence and everything like that. What you got to understand is that people knew what was going to go down, and at the end of the day, they was always arguing with each other anyways. That's why Takeoff said, and people said, and Offset even said that he didn't want to go down there with them no more. That it was like, it was going to be too much of a stressful situation where he didn't want to have to get in no argument or altercation with no other people, especially if you don't know him like that, and they supposed to be part of some sort of security team and everything, and it's trying to have the people that, you know, had they strapped up and had everything on them, and he's not trying to be hanging around them no more, because of the fact that if they get into it, he knows already what the outcome is going to be, is that people is going to go start wilding out, and that ain't good for nobody. And so that's why people was like Offset was trying to break away from all that, and that's what really got them in the whole sticky situation, because he didn't want to go out there no more. And that's when the Migos started splitting out, basically. And what y'all got to understand is that this whole thing is a lot of close watch details that are coming out, basically, because people in Houston, all the people, all the witnesses, and all the people that's close to the situation, they started speaking out now, and the words and the rumors are getting out, and a lot of people is picking up what they putting out, and basically what's going on out there, really what's happening. So what you ought to do is just pay attention, keep your eyes open, head on a swivel, and everybody got to understand that you got to learn from this situation. You can't be going down the same road as them. You can't be doing, you could know it's the wise person that's got to learn from the other people's mistake, but the fool's the one that got to learn from their own mistake, because then they slipped up. So don't get caught slipping up, basically. And that's what Sauce Walka was trying to say, is that he don't want to have anything to do with them, because there's no situation where he's not trying to have to worry about getting caught slipped up, or have them or anyone worry about that. So basically, subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment down below, and I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.